the journey of water to wastewater is, I'm going to just elaborate in a little bit what happens at the source of, obviously, we have the dams at the source of the river. We know the ecological impacts when we create the dams at the source region. Then after the dams, the river enters into the plains or into the cities. And the urban scenario is, you have agricultural runoffs, you have industrial runoffs, you have hospitals, you have domestic runoffs entering into the rivers, whether they are partially treated or completely coming directly as outfalls, and the STPs which are built along to treat the water. Now, when we see this down to earth, this is, we can take this as a baseline reference for the wastewater scenario of our country. CPCB last year has come out with more numbers actually. If I talk about Maharashtra, now we have 55 rivers which are polluted. So one of the most progressive state and one of the most polluted rivers can be considered or stated as a state of Maharashtra. So if we look at these three figures, the top red line shows the sewage generation into that urban area. Now, please keep it in mind that these figures are 2015. We are in 2023. There's going to be more sewage generation. But the blue figures show that installed treatment capacity. It does not mean that it is treating 100%. It also does not mean it is upgraded or altered as per the modern technology. And the black figures show the number of rivers which are polluted. This is a very classical diagram I like to show because it shows the overall picture of our own country, how much pollution we are doing or how many rivers are getting polluted. So what is happening at the source other than the environmental losses, habitat losses, biodiversity losses, erosion, sedimentation, flood risk? Because particularly states like Maharashtra, we do not have flood control dams. We have irrigation dams. So the flood risks are always there from these dams. And then after the dams, there are filtration plants which have been installed at every city level. What happens into these filtration plants is the chemical substances which are used to purify the water, which is lime, alum, and chlorine. Lime and alum obviously comes from mining, so mining pollution is already there. Chlorine, mercury cells are used for production of chlorine from the brine, and the chlorination of water produces 4 to 5 type of trihalomethanes which are carcinogenic. Now, when we talk about they are carcinogenic, it is the same thing which has been also used into the STPs. While treating, chlorine dosing is always done while releasing the water, the treated water into the rivers. And chlorine, ammonium, and sulfur are the direct harmful chemicals which impact the aquatic fauna. There is a limnology expert who would later probably throw more light onto these chemicals and the pollution to the invertebrates as well as the since he is there, I don't need to go into the details of the limnology, but let me come to the individual. So how much per individual pollution we are causing? Now, this research was done by National Chemical Laboratory 30 years ago under a senior scientist, Dr. Moghe, where the number of chemicals which are used and products which are non-biodegradable, but we are using them for personal hygiene and domestic cleaning. If you see the total, which is there, about 20 to 40 grams of chemicals are getting released through our wastewater, wherever the wastewater is going. And number of chemicals or the ingredients which are there into this are more than 120, and we know water is a universal solvent. So what happens when these ingredients get into the water? It is also impacting the personal health, because all these chemicals cause some sort of a personal health, and they are non-point sources which are entering into the rivers, which are also causing heavy environmental damages. So total chemicals only from domestic use, which are not treated from the sewage treatment plants, if I take to the size of Pune city, 40 grams of different chemicals. Population of Pune, if I consider 50 lakhs, if I consider PMC and PCMC is 110 now, not even 50 lakhs, which are being dumped into the river is 2 lakh kilo kgs per day only from the domestic sector. Then now I just threw the issues and the problems at you, and now I want to come to the solutions. So when it comes to the solution, obviously the first thing has to be there, that it has to start from me, my own self. How do I do it? So this is one of the program which Jeevit Nadi launched 9 years ago, is a consume to conserve, and start using, replace your fast moving consumer goods to the natural and biodegradable ones. How you do it, that we have different workshops and orientation session. I will not go into that. Why I'm showing these two photographs is to show that this is something for last 10 years. I have not used a single detergent, a single spoon of detergent. If I start using myself, then I have every right to talk to others that yes, you can do it.